As it has been believed for many decades in this modern scientific world, and still a majority of people believe that the genetics of a person rules his life. But this very small bunch of biologists and scientists and people who have been working with quantum physics have come up with some very interesting facts, which in the process of Kuki Khan also has been emphasized many times, that the way you perceive the world and the situation has to change. The situations will not change as per your need and want, but your perception to the situation must change. And this fact has been taken to a much different level of clarity by the scientist and the biologist. What these people have done in the quantum physics level, because they were teaching the medical students, so they were teaching that genes rule your life. But in that experiment, they took a certain number of stem cells and put them in the petri dish and kept it overnight, and the next day the stem cells grew, they multiplied. Now these stem cells had a certain amount of DNA, and the same DNA was multiplied whenever the stem cells multiplied. And over a period of a week, he had thousands of these stem cells. And what he did next was very astounding, and that by accident came to this fact that the genes do not rule your life. 98% of the times the genes don't rule your life. So what happened in this experiment, he took a small bunch of these stem cells and put them in another environment, and these stem cells reacted to that environment and became unhealthy. Now a medicine man or a doctor, what he would do is put some drug there to change the situation to make it healthy. But this biologist took these stem cells which were unhealthy and put them back again in the previous environment from where he took them, which was healthy, and they became healthy again. So suddenly it struck to him that it was not the DNA, the genetic code of the stem cells, which were affecting the change on the health of the cells. It was the environment. So one has to see that those cells were perceiving the environment and not reacting to the genetic code, because each of these stem cells had the same genetic code. So this is something which is so profoundly astonishing a finding, that if people see and stop blaming their genes, oh, in my family I've got the genetic conditions of obesity, my family has genes of high blood pressure, but that does not work. You have to see that it is your perception to the situation, it is your environment, it is your belief system which changes the way your biology reacts, the way your physiology is made up because of your perception. So this experiment leads to the next thing what they did, that people study having cancer, and when these people are studied who are having cancer in the genetic code, that is fine, but there is another 50% of them who are not having cancer in the genetic code develop cancer. So they don't study, the modern pharma industry don't study that, they just want to promote their own drugs for cancerous patients because it's a billion-dollar industry. So what these bunch of honest scientists said, that they took up an adoptive child who had no trace of genetic condition of cancerous cells in the body, and they put him in a family which had cancer. And sure enough, this adoptive boy developed cancer over the number of years. So it just proved that he started perceiving and believing in that system of family that he was brought up with. And his most crucial years, they found out, for a child to grow for his future life is till the age of 6. Now what does it mean? That till the age of 6, the child is in a hypnagogic state. That means directly whatever is fed to the child goes to the subconscious. without the conscious interference. And that is the most important learning phase for a child. And this is why they say that the people closest to the child, the parents especially, the teachers, the very close family members, are very importantly responsible for the child's future growth. So when parents come to me and say, oh, please help my child is obese, and I look at the parents and say, oh, please look at yourself too. You want to change the child, but you have to change yourself first. So if you want to see this condition, these are proven sciences. It is not that the genes rule your life, it is how you perceive your situation. It is what you believe. Your belief system rules your biology. It changes your biology. And that is how you can take responsibility of your own life, of your own situation, of your own conditions, and live healthily, happily, and peacefully.